You have to call them what they are. These are people that have failed in life and they're on their deathbed. And if we're not honest about it, we're never going to fix this problem.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the problem. That people are not like taking matters in their own hands and killing homeless people. That's the issue. Yeah. The Republican Party's strategy was, and for a very long time, and still to this day, their strategy was vice signaling. Conservative politics used to revolve around vice signaling, which is the opposite of virtue signaling, where they just say, like, I'm a bully, I'm a bad guy, I suck, I hate these people. And then all the other bullies were like, yeah, you are a bad guy, just like me, I love that, right? Now, they've moved beyond that, and they're just like, I'm insane, I'm out of my mind, dude. I am
Family show is brought to you by Blackout Coffee.
I'm so crazy. I'm the craziest motherfucker. I literally am losing it at condiment. Here it is.
It is powered by Blackout Coffee. Family owned, 100% committed to conservative values from sourcing the beans to the roasting process. Customer support, go to blackoutcoffee.com/Charlie. That is blackoutcoffee.com/Charlie. Super happy to partner with them. 100% endorsement. Check it out for all your coffee needs. We are now having to, I'm guilty of this. I'm going through my kitchen, I'm going through my refrigerator, and I'm starting to ask the question, well, is this ketchup bottle woke? Is this mustard? I mean, literally, we're at the place now where we have to go through, is the company that makes this? And so blackoutcoffee.com/Charlie, I'm sure.
Like, how do your beans get sourced conservatively? Is the guy getting the beans like yelling the N-word at the beans? What is conservative about the bean sourcing process? Like, what is did they enslave people again? Like, is that how? Because if that's the case, like, I feel like most commodities are produced in like really awful ways in the third world anyway. So like, don't worry, that's like pretty conservative, I think. My man is like, my man's going to that one farmer who was like, well, there's no N-words here, to the black reporter. Remember when the reporter came up to him and was like, sir, there's allegations that you've been really racist, like that you've said the N-word. And then the guy turned around and was like, well, there's no N-words here, to the reporter. He's like, how dare you accuse me of saying the N-word? Unless there is a black person, I'm not going to say it. That's the guy that Charlie goes to source his beans. Yeah, fair trade. How about 0%? How about cruel trade? This is 100% unethically sourced cruel trade coffee beans. Okay, fear not. Anyway, I like that they flipped the script on there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, and we're like, no, some of this consumption under capitalism is becoming too ethical, so we're gonna make sure all of our consumption is unethical. You know, this is all sourced from factories where children are still working. Wonderful stuff, though. I do love that. Here's what Osita had to say about it. American conservatism is like one of those dog breeds that can't even breathe properly anymore. Generations of nonsense and insularity, malformed, wheezing, and ugly. Conservatives out here saying things and not considering the repercussions at the beginning of time. I mean, it doesn't matter. At this point, it does seem like American politics has gotten to such a team sport that they're just watching Charlie for the sake of like Charlie Kirk being a conservative. They don't even need to like actually own the libs anymore. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Yeah.
First of all, they weren't black, they were Mexicans. So I don't know why he called them the N-word.
I just want to give you a chance to be clear and respond.
Yeah.
You hear him referring to people as
we didn't have no work here, but I know.
Yeah, that's Charlie Kirk's like, that's my guy. This is the guy that I'm actually sourcing from. I found somehow the most racist farmer. That's even worse than you described it. I thought that I did a decent job describing it. It's just like shocking to hear someone just say that and not feel any amount of like repercussions, or not feel like that will, not feel like that's something you shouldn't say. Don't you think the C word is offensive? This guy disagrees.
I'm sorry. Refund my meal. You want to talk to your boss? No. You want to talk to her for her calling me a cracker? And what was you doing? I called her after she called me a cracker.
That was, bro, he said that so easily, dude. I mean, it came to him so easily. It's crazy. Who's he on the phone with? The boss at the racism factory. He's on the phone with his manager. Manager's at the racism assembly line, feeding him quotes. Jesus, you turned red hot. He turned red hot when he said it? No, he was excited.
You have a nice day.
You have a nice day.
Call the cops. Call the cops. And you think I won't? Y'all, all you niggas
Oh, Jesus. Come on, bro. I mean, so what's up? Does he die in the end of this? Like, is there a positive note or what? Like, does an anvil fall on his head in a comical capacity or something? Like, or is it just straight up some white dude being like horrifically racist to some old black guy who's working behind a counter? Nope. Cops arrest the employees? Are you fucking joking? It's always weird to watch. It came so easy to him. No hesitation. He's like, I only say the N-word to black people. There's no black people here. Well, he didn't even say there's no black people here. He did say it to a black reporter. So yeah, that's where we're at with the conservative movement. It doesn't matter what they really say. What matters is like who's saying it. And conservatives are like, I love that, actually.
A few moments later.
Fox News' solution to the homelessness problem is to slowly kill them, which is crazy.
Midfield. Gavin's now at maybe midfield, but he has to understand homelessness isn't about lack of affordable housing. It's about...
Yeah, no, totally. That's how you know I'm right, okay? I only needed to see that part. If Jesse Waters is saying homelessness is not about lack of affordable housing, that's how you know it's absolutely about that. This man has never been right on any issue, okay? Bro, it's in the name. Like, it's in the name. Homelessness means you are devoid of a home. You don't have shelter. Like, if you had a magic wand, okay? If you had a magic wand with unlimited funds, unlimited resources, you can do whatever you want, and you wanted to eradicate homelessness, would you A, use the wand on the homeless people themselves, or B, use the wand to make free houses for everybody, including the homeless people, including everyone else? Okay? What would you do? Jesse Waters would, Thanos snap the homeless people out of existence.
Drug addicts that want to wander around and live in tents on the sidewalk. And so you can't coddle antisocial behavior. You can't subsidize antisocial behavior. You have to stigmatize it. You can't celebrate people with purple hair, with nose rings.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. We celebrated homeless people too much. That's why there's more of them. Like, who's celebrating homeless people, dude?
You know, when you see stuff like that on the streets, that's protected property, like by law. You know that? Like, if you were
so
to
you're
go,
not supposed to do that.
But like that's that person's property by law. If you were to go,
homeless person's property is
Yes.
protected?
Yes.
What the why? What do you mean? Like, dude, this is awesome. Dude, this is awesome. He's just straight up admitting that he doesn't see homeless people as human beings. You don't say stuff like this unless you straight up don't believe homeless people are human beings. Like, that's it. He's saying, like, what? They own stuff? They can have rights? Like, he literally, that's it. That's straight up what this is.
Absolutely.
Huh.
If you were to go and try to move that or take that,
You'd get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't arrest.
Why is that hilarious? Of course. Isn't Joe Rogan like a libertarian? I don't understand. What?
Arrest you if you shot somebody. Maybe you should just go and shoot the homeless people.
I like your ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if nobody claims it, I mean, nobody does anything about violent crime in LA anymore. It's a joke.
Yeah.
They're just letting people out.
What? Does Joe Rogan not know that there was literally a mass murder of homeless people in the DC, New York area? Joe Rogan thinks that the way to deal with the homelessness problem is by shooting homeless people? What the This man has never, I feel like he's never talked to a California liberal, okay? Talk to a rich California liberal, they will tell you very quickly, they want to murder every homeless person, and maybe even some that look homeless but aren't homeless, okay? Like, nobody's coddling homeless people, man. They're literally living on the side of the street. Like, what kind of psychotic universe has he cultivated in his mind?
4 kids with 4 different men who are dressed like trash and make them out to be some sort of cutting edge heroes. You have to call them what they are. These are people that have failed in life and they're on their deathbed. And if we're not honest about it, we're never going to fix this problem.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the problem. That people are not like taking matters in their own hands and killing homeless people. That's the issue. Yeah. It's so psychotic to say, to make this insane assertion that like the reason why homelessness exists is not because of homes, but instead because we're coddling homeless people. No, nobody's coddling homeless people. Also, I love that these guys claim that they're Christian when they're like, oh yeah, that's the principle from Jesus Christ himself. You know what I mean? That's what he would have done. He would have killed the homeless with his laser beams.